What is up, good people? Jungle Link here. Hope you're doing well. Some really interesting developments. First and foremost, Stefan Thomas and Evan Schwartz have reemerged. I haven't heard much from either of them in some time, and with them coming back to the XRP scene came some really interesting news. For those of you that have been around a while, you would remember Stefan Thomas was in charge of Coil. It was a massive project. Ripple invested 1 billion XRP into Coil, this micropayment system, with the idea of redesigning the payment flows for streaming services and content just in general online. Now, it came up short of its goals. For sure, it was far ahead of its time, but I think they routed a bunch of payments through that system, probably got a lot of real-world data. And while Coil didn't live up to its promise, to its vision, I think it delivered some real-world value for both the XRP ledger and for Ripple, the company. But that's not what's so interesting. Stefan Thomas and Evan Schwartz just put out a podcast, and one of the things they talked about is, well, Coil's still around. Now, they returned much of the unused XRP when the main Coil blogs and all that shut down, but they still are developing things. And one of the things they're working on, and I think this may be why we see them reemerging, is apparently they're still working on Codius. The smart contract solution, chain agnostic, could be used to bring that capability to the XRP ledger. They're still working on that, and that may still be a viable path. It's so interesting. You know, Ripple's decided, yeah, we need smart contracts on the XRP ledger, and here comes Stefan Thomas and Evan Schwartz. Probably the most exciting part for me is those are two of the biggest developers in blockchain. And I thought they had went off into the psychosphere. And if they come back building on the XRP ledger, that's a big win for everyone. I hope they get serious. I hope they jump into it like they were in the past. But Ripple's decided, you know what, smart contracts are a must. And we could talk about why here in a little bit. But now what do we have? Well, we have Codius still, you know, a candidate, a solution, still being developed by Stefan Thomas, Evan Schwartz. That's exciting. We have Evernode, really robust system there, and also hooks. So we have a lot of different ways they can go with this. So when Ripple said they're really looking at a lot of different solutions, I assume they already made up their mind, but maybe not here. You know, there's a lot to pick from. And if you remember, Codius is really the likely seed of the idea for Ethereum. Vitalik was wanting to intern with Ripple, sleeping on some Ripple couches while they were working through Codius, and then they went off and built Ethereum. I can't tell you which one will be the winner ultimately, or maybe it'll be something totally different entirely, but they all bring something different to the table. If I had to guess, really the battle-tested system is hooks. It's being run on Zahao. It's kind of a light smart contract system that may be quite appropriate for the XRP ledger. XRP Labs right now is really the best developer that's active. They're doing the most work. Their solution very well may be the best, but we don't know. And we have a lot of optionality here as we decide our way forward. This is a big decision. We gotta get it right. We know we need some sort of smart contract capability here. When we look at leveraging things like, stablecoins on network, you need smart contracts to balance a lot of this stuff out. You can't have David Schwartz sitting there going click, click, click when it's time to mint and burn stable coins here. You want sort of automated systems. We need some sort of smart contracts to be added to the XRP ledger. The question is, what is the best approach? What helps us, build the scale? This is going to be a big decision. They got to get it right. Since the end of the court case, we've seen a lot of development, just really steamroll the XRP ledger. AMMs, stable coins, all sorts of stuff. Now you're seeing meme coins trading on a new app. That's exciting. There's an app people like using. That's encouraging. The OG developers like Stefan Thomas and maybe most importantly Evan Schwartz are back in the fold. Looks like they're going to be building some stuff. Like this may be the golden era for XRP ledger development. I'm going to be doing some videos on the Ethereum blockchain here shortly, but they're in an interesting crossroads as well. And most of my opinion on Ethereum is quite bullish, but they could take a misstep and really have a lot of problems down the road. We'll get into the muck and mire of that in another video. But, this is really a chance for the XRP ledger to right a lot of wrongs, to gain a lot of ground. We have some great minds in this development community. And I have a feeling people are going to see what's going on with First Ledger. And call it gambling if you like, because that's really what it is. But someone launched an app that people are adopting and using, and I have a feeling that's going to suck a lot of the OGs back in this ecosystem, saying, you know what? I could do that too. And guess what happens? If you build a long-term application on the XRP ledger that's successful, you're going to be a multi-billionaire. It's going to happen. That's important. The big thing is, people have always said, you can build something on the ledger. XRP investors don't care. They just want to hodl their coins on their ledger nanos. You're seeing the opposite. It's, we have a lack of great apps that are fun to use, apps that do something that the regular person wants. And what's really interesting about that, that talk we had between Evan Schwartz and Stefan Thomas is he said, you know what, we were doing something that was community driven, that people were adopting and using with Codius, and it was shut down because the focus was all on institutions. Institutional flows are important. That's going to be a big part of the future of the XRP ledger, but so are retail use cases. This is an open source blockchain, and we need to support those flows. That money spends the same as Bank of America or JP Morgan Chase. The regular average Joe in aggregate is massive, and we don't need to discourage that kind of stuff. Liquidity begets more liquidity. Think about what's really changed here. You've always had the ability to mint a quote-unquote meme coin, but you had someone that tied everything together. You have the AMMs. You have this interesting app that integrates Telegram. And you have this user experience that people like using. You have to be creative, but you can leverage the power of the XRP ledger, which is exponentially growing over time, and you can make an app that people are going to like. And it's not just meme coins. It could be payments. It could be all sorts of stuff. Look, I'm not a developer. It's not up for me to figure out. But I'll tell you this. It's encouraging as an XRP investor that people are putting XRP in motion, that people are using applications, that they are taking smart contract capability serious, and we have multiple options to pick from. And again, I don't think it's just Codius, Evernote, and hooks. I bet you for sure they have people working on some other solutions. Let's hope they pick the right path, though. That's what's so important. Ultimately, whatever they pick, whichever path they decide to develop out, fully, it probably should be something between Bitcoin, no smart contract capability, and Ethereum, unlimited programmability. Like kind of right in the middle is that sweet spot where we can do a lot of stuff, just not quite as much. It makes it easier to scale. And I think that's going to put us right at the correct spot. It's been a bummer seeing all the talent that left Ripple. And yeah, they have lots of executives and marketers and all that kind of stuff. But you have these OGs, these great minds that just left off, and we don't know where they went. Maybe they start coming back. They see this as an ecosystem that is now ready to build the future. That's what I see with this, the reemergence of Stefan Thomas, the reemergence of Evan Schwartz. I bet they're not going to be the last. We can't wait on Ripple to build the future. We can't wait on institutional payments to send us to 589. We need XRP to be used for something, and quick. We're starting to see that with meme coins, and I bet you we're going to see more applications here in the near future. Pay attention to that, because that's a wildly different state than we've seen the XRP ledger in the past. That's a new era. That's a shift. That's something that can really build long-term and sustainable value. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.